On this episode of K3VBOT's Garage, we find out no place, no title, no problem is a problem. Welcome back. My name's Kevin with K3VBOT's Garage, and we are back here at the Fairlane. So last time you saw this car, we were in Lebanon, Tennessee, where we got it running and driving and not quite stopping and cruised it around my buddy Paul's front yard. So we are back here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where we have the Fairlane sitting at my buddy Aaron's house, and we're going to do a follow-up on it, get it stopping, and get it running a lot better because that Pinto carburetor has got to go. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. We are down here under the car, and it is time to try something different with these brakes because that will not bleed, and neither will that one over there. So we definitely have narrowed it down to a clog in the line. We even used a vacuum bleeder, which did nothing, and we stepped on the pedal and didn't go through any brake fluid. So I don't know what that is. Huh. Sorry, I got sidetracked. That's like ADD right there. I like playing with this though. I don't know what it is. Probably some kind of spacer or something in that leaf spring so things don't rub together. But at this point, I don't think that matters. So, alright. We're gonna go diagnose some more brakes. So this is the problem we had with our brake lines. These rubber lines. Now, these go from the hard line to the wheel cylinders on the front, and then from the hard line to the rear axle where it splits off in the back. And these are completely clogged. In fact, you can see the very end of that where there is nothing going through, and in fact, I broke the hard line on every single one of these trying to get them off because they were that stuck. That one lost its end. I've actually got that part right here because that one was completely seized. Don't need that. Broke that one off as well because that one was completely seized. And this one, I broke the hard line off, and that one is also completely seized. So we've got all new brake lines in it now, and that was a fun treat. So this one's our brand new carburetor. It's basically the same exact thing as what we had from O'Reilly's, except this one doesn't have the vacuum choke. This one's just got the manual choke like what the car originally had anyway. Big difference about this one is this one actually has the gasket on the front, unlike the one that was at O'Reilly's. So we're going to throw this on. We're going to hope it works and does everything that we need it to do so we can get this thing fired up and hopefully have a little bit of horsepower and tweak with it a little bit. So without further ado, here we go. So we've got ourselves a new starter relay in here because the old one
just wasn't working. We'd have to tap it with a wrench. We had to tap it with a crowbar. I wanted to kick it and throw it and scream like a little girl because the car would not shut off when we wanted it to shut off, and it would not start when we wanted it to start. So we put more new parts on this rusty piece of junk.
I think I've got it figured out. So timing makes a big difference, and one of the issues we was having is the distributor kept rotating because for some reason we couldn't get it to clamp down all the way, so it kept throwing us out of timing. Well, I think I've got that figured out. Got it all mounted down in there okay. Played with the timing a little bit. Running about 10 degrees. Recommended is about 12. But we should be in a pretty good spot here to go ahead and get it fired up and see what we're doing. So we'll make sure our key's on. And I'm just going to bypass the switch and use our handy dandy starter tool here. Idle is a little bit high, but damn does it sound a lot better. Alright, I'll get that cranked off. We'll slow down our idle a little bit, and we should be good to get her moving a little bit more. Here we are in the Fairlane for a good test drive around the block. So, going around the block because I don't have plates or anything for it quite yet. But, should be able to get a little test and tune out of it. Oh, fire's right out there. Don't have any seat belts, mostly because I'm not going to dig around in this shit hole to find them quite yet.
And then this happened. This is when we found out no title, no plates is definitely an issue. And we'll explain about the title stuff a little bit later. In the meantime, the officer thought what we were doing was hilarious and told us we could cruise around the subdivision as long as we did it safely. We're out of gas. Gonna have to push it now. Not convenient.
All right, so the car needs cleaned. I'm gonna use this handy dandy pressure washer because that's the best way to clean anything. And reason being is the car is gonna go. It's gotta go. I can't keep it. I can't keep every single car I have. It's sitting here at my buddy Aaron's place because I don't have room for it at the house, and I don't have a place to store stuff yet. So I'm gonna pressure wash it and clean it up and at least make it a little more desirable for the next person that owns it. What happens when you get a little too close to a pressure washer. Yeah. Oops. All right, so we got our pressure washing here done, and yeah, I'm sure you can see that it left some lines. Now, I needed the pressure to be high because some of this stuff was just caked on, but you can see lines in there, and I'll tell you what, if I stick my finger on there and scrub at it a little bit, it does come off. So I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different. I have decided that I am only gonna do one side because it really wasn't that enjoyable. So I'll let the new owner, whoever buys it, do the other side if they want, but I'll probably make this side nice and pretty. Next thing I need to do is clean out this disaster of an interior. So I haven't cleaned this at all since I bought it. So there's a bunch of stuff back here, stuff down on the floor, an old beer can down on the floor, and a bunch of stuff over here. We've got the extra mirror that's supposed to be on that passenger side. It looks like garbage. It'll be included with it. Then all of this stuff, which I believe is just extra parts, but it's stuff that I don't necessarily need, and it's probably holding moisture and stuff in here. So I'm gonna get my gloves on and I'm gonna clean this out. Whew. That's some good stuff. Doesn't have vodka in it, but it's good stuff. That's empty. There's a whole box of like the brake lines. What's this? Oh, it's a starter solenoid box. Empty stop leak, which did not stop leak at all.
Aaron has an empty trash can, so I'm gonna fill it up. Brake line. Woohoo. See what else we got in here. Oh, that's a battery hold down. I'll hold on to that, even though the bottom of the battery tray is completely gone. What else do we have here? A distributor cap and a bunch of spark plug wires that do not go to this car. Cap looks like trash. These wires are probably old and, oh yeah, they're all corroded on the inside, so looks like I just threw an octopus away. Let's see what else we got in here. Negative ground terminal. That's halfway usable. I'll hold on to that one. These are junk. Oh, another key. That's junk. Looks like they were having an issue with it holding ATF also. We've got a couple of these in there. Yeah, just throw them in this box. We'll just load that up a little bit here. Ugh, man, this stuff's nasty. Oh, I was right. Look at that. Brand new fuel pump. No wonder that one works so well. Let's see what else. There's the old light switch. Garbage. We replaced that. What is that? I don't even know what that is. If any of you recognize that, you can tell me. There's the top cap of it. I feel like I dropped something. Oh no, it was a speckle of rust. Just landed on my foot. What's that? Oh, a lock washer. That's probably useful. I don't need it. Oh, what else do we have in here? Oh, look at that. A pair of vice grips. These are junk. I should send them to that vice grip garage guy. What would you say about these? Something about a guy could use these. A guy could use good tools. I'll tell you what, guy. Give me your address and I'll send these to you. They're all yours. See if he sees this video. Probably not. But I'll hold on to him until he does. And these are all junk. Whew. Don't know what all was there. Don't really care. That's probably an all alcohol bottle of some sort. Don't care. What is that? Ew. Some kind of red touch-up paint with a big old crack in it. Still kind of looks liquid in there, although that is... Oh, it is liquid. Ew, that stuff's just come off of my glove. I don't want that. Oh, there it is. That is some kind of makeup. Glaze Czar? I don't know. Don't care. Oh, ew. Oh, God. Oh, here's the old solenoid. Don't need that. Some old springs. Old mileage something. Don't care. And here are chunks of bark. Some kind of wood bark. I don't even know. I don't even have a guess. I know an animal didn't drag those in there. They're meticulously placed. Aaron doesn't exactly know that I'm throwing them in his trash can either yet, but he'll find out. Another piece of... I don't get the wood. Why wood? Another chunk of wood. Oh, wait. A big chunk of wood. You know what they were probably trying to do? They were trying to decorate the panels on the inside with this wood grain finish to make this nice classy car, kind of like a Bentley. Alright, so let's explain what's going on with the paperwork situation here.
Part of the reason I got this car and got it so cheap is because of this paperwork issue. And I'll just kind of go through it. So this is the bill of sale that I got from Randy for the car. That should already tell you that there's no title. And this is the bill of sale that he got from where he got it from. And he was supposed to get a title from this person, and he never did, which is why it sat for 10 years and nothing ever happened with it. This is a copy of the title from North Carolina from 1986, and see if there's another date on that. Yeah. Then the last sale of it was from 1990, before the guy that Randy got it from got it. So that's helpful, I guess. Means that it did at one point have a title. This is my Indiana physical inspection that the police had to do. This is the odometer disclosure statement. And you're asking, why do I have an odometer disclosure statement and why do I have a physical inspection from the police? Well, I will tell you why. Because in Indiana, if you do not have a title for a vehicle, you have to go through the court and get what's called a quiet title. So I went down to the Superior Court here in Fort Wayne and filed a claim, which is what this document here is. All of that. And then, wonderfully, had to go down to the local newspaper and run 3 weeks of basically an informative type thing where somebody could come forward if they wanted to and claim the vehicle, but they would have to have more proof of having, I guess, rights to it than I do, which isn't going to happen. So if you want to make my life miserable, you could, I guess, come to Fort Wayne and say that it's your car and claim why and try and fight me for it, I guess. But there's the state of Indiana court order checklist, some more of that. So that is where we're sitting with the paperwork. I had to go down to the courthouse, file for a quiet title, paid like their $97 to run it through the court. I have a court date set 60 days out from when I did it. So I have to wait for 2 months before I can do anything with this car because I don't have a title. And then I had to run it through the newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks, which is not part of that $97. I had to do that for an additional $128, which is probably why the newspaper stays afloat, because I don't know a lot of people that even get it anymore. So they have to run that for 3 consecutive weeks, and I have to wait for my court date. Randy got sent a letter in the mail that he has to sign off of whatever claim that he once had to the car, and show up for the court date, fill out the court order document for the BMV, and then get a title for it. So we are, I think, probably a week and a half into the 2 months that I have to wait, which is why this car is going to go to the holding yard for a little while, because I'm not going to leave it here in Aaron's driveway for that long, because I have more respect for him than that. So there's your information on the title issue. If you have any questions on applying for a lost title or a quiet title through Indiana, let me know, because I've been working on that here for the last couple weeks, and I can help you with that process, or at least answer some of your basic questions. Alright, so we got some fresh gas here for her. We're going to strap that right back here to the front end of it and see if we can get her down to the holding yard. There we go.
We got brakes. We got at least a little bit of ATF in there. I'm gonna try and get her to the holding yard in one piece. And that's gonna be interesting, because I'm not entirely sure where the seat belts are. And Aaron is kind of following me here. I don't necessarily think we have turn signals, but it's just Aaron following me. We'll give her a try. Here we go, main roads. Being the first person at a stoplight with this gas tank hanging off the front grille is probably one big target. Making that stoplight. Of course, we get stuck at the stoplight right beside the police station. Fort Wayne Central Police Department. They've got that Fort Wayne local, like, YOHB, you on here bro thing. Definitely not gonna get posted on that. They'll take a picture of it and post it on Shitbox Nation or something like that. This is definitely the furthest it's been driven in like 20 years, 25 maybe. People are giving this thing the look. It's got that curb appeal. It's got that sex appeal that every guy likes. Ladies are questionable. The guys, they dig it. See, that dude just gave me a thumbs up. Aaron thinks this was supposed to be a 5-minute drive. I think we're probably about 20 minutes in now, maybe 25.
And there she is as she sits today, in her current resting place until paperwork clears and a title can be had so a new owner can be found. This car's been quite the adventure. It's been quite the journey from where we began just last month in Lebanon, Tennessee, buying it from my buddy Randy and getting her back on the road. It's come a long way to the point where we drove it all the way across Fort Wayne to the holding yard where she is. If anybody has interest in owning this 65 Ford Fairlane 2-door sedan that I have way too much money into, send me a message and I'm sure we can work something out. So until the next episode of K3VBOT's Garage.